What's happening, guys, and welcome back to part 15. I can't believe we're already at part 15. We've still got some ways to go with regards to getting this RPG looking slick and smooth, but I'm quite enjoying taking you guys on this journey. Now, today we're going to be focusing on the HUDs. That's the menus and the health bars, etc. And that can often be a tedious thing, and a lot of guys make mistakes with the HUDs because of positioning and getting the bars to work correctly with the directories. So we're going to be working with that today. Now, just to recap, last week we did the collectibles, the dropping of the coins. Go and check that video, the last one that I did maybe 2 days ago. With regards to that, that's going to be an essential part. We're going to be doing collisions on health to restore health, and at the same time, as we hit an enemy, we're going to be taking damage. Now, I've gone ahead and prepped the scene, just to let you know that's the only thing different from last week's video, is the fact that I've gone ahead and created a new layer and called it global layer. The next thing I've gone and done is I've created, as you can see, our HUD. Now, all this really consists of is a sprite. I'm just putting it in there because I'm going to make that work later to show the different types of animations. I've obviously gotten the background, which is this, as you can see. I just downloaded it. I'm going to put a link down below in the description. Yeah, I'm going to show you. I got it from Open Game. So I'm just making use of these assets, opened it up in Fireworks to separate them. It's already a PNG, so you can go ahead and download that. Okay, so that's what I've gone ahead and done there. And as you can see, all the separate bars. Now, what you need to do, and it's very essential, is that this specific layer, I've gone ahead and called HUD, and I've set this layer to global, which is vital to yes, global, and I set the parallax to 0 and 0 on the layer itself. So I made a new layout, made a new layer, renamed the layer to HUD. This is vital because when we use it on the other stages, that way we don't have to recreate this for every single layout. It's going to be a global object. And we're going to see what that looks like shortly. Then I've gone ahead and created all the different, you could say, bars, health bar, and whatever bar you would call it, a mana bar. I created this one. I've just called it an ability bar. We can use that later. But we don't have any, you could say, dictionaries for this yet. So we're going to just work with the health for now, but you'll get the idea, and you can do the same for mana. So if I click on the health bar, a very critical thing here, which is the only difference that you will need to know, is that I've made use of a tiled background. I did not use a sprite. And the reason for this is that we get to set the positioning of the origin to top left. Why that is because if we go ahead and start taking damage, both of the left and the right hand side widths are going to move into each other, and you're never going to get this anchored to the left. So this is why we make use of a tiled background. Very critical. So if you end up using a sprite and you see that the left and the right come in together when you take damage, that means you did not make use of a tiled background. This way the right hand side becomes smaller, opposed to both sides becoming smaller as we take damage. Okay, so back over on stage one, what I then did was I created a new layout called HUD, a new layer called HUD, and as I made that layer, automatically, if I show you, it brought in what was sitting on the object global layer, which I've gone ahead and set to yes. All right, so very critical to make sure you do that. Okay, so there's my setup, there's my scene, no code written. If I go ahead and obviously run that, you're going to see I've got this awesome thing, and this bar is going to move with me because the parallax is set to 0 and 0. And that's what we want. But now we're going to get this little health bar to essentially move when the user takes damage. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to make the HUD over onto my main layout and event sheet because this is really where the main items take place. That's what you want to do. Your global items, doors, transition, things that won't change based on stages. Go ahead and always put that in your main. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new group, and you guessed it, I'm going to call it HUD. Okay, and this is really going to be a really quick video. There's nothing really complex or anything with it other than the fact that you need to ensure the damage is subtracted from the user as we've done in our previous videos. And as you add health by picking up things, you need to obviously add to your health dictionary. Now, very important, we're going to go back over to the, if I'm not mistaken, the main, and I'm going to go to data. You will see here, max health, strength, defense. These are the values we're going to be working with. So it's critical to ensure that if you've got, let me show you another one. If I go ahead and copy strength, and let's call it mana, because that's something my wizards would use. Let's call it mana. I'm going to set it to 100, and that's the starting mana. You understand? So there is another good one. I just added the mana for the blue bar. So now we can test the blue bar. So when we cast a spell, we need to subtract from this dictionary. That's how it really works. So ensure that this is like a local storage, in fact, to manage all these variables opposed to setting instant variables on each player specific. Okay, better practice, make sure you get used to that. Okay, so going over to the HUD, we're going to do the following. Now this is really simple because all we're going to be working with is essentially the, you could say, the bar itself. And in this case, my bar is called health bar. So yeah, I'm going to click system, and we're going to use it every tick because we need to monitor as this guy gets hit, or he takes potion, or he takes health. We need to monitor every tick. So we cannot use the on start of layout. We cannot use the on start of a stage or touch of an object. It has to be every tick. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and set the width, as you guessed it. So we're going to just go ahead and set the width, and this is going to be a little confusing, but I'm going to read you through it. So I'm going to copy a very important first thing before I do that. I'm going to go over to the global layer. The width that I've set of this bar, you'll see is, let me click on it, is 46.5. Okay, it can just be 46. So I'm going to go ahead and do just that. Okay, there we go. Did that work? No. Sorry, let's go ahead and click there. Yeah, sorry, 46. So vital to understand the width because we're going to divide that by the health that we have. Okay. Also remember to make sure that you know the naming conventions of your values. Mine's called health and max health, capital both words in the front. Okay. So back over to my main. I'm going to now go and set the width. Health bar, set the width. Set width. Where are you? Here we go. Setting the width, and here we're going to basically say 46 because that's my width. And then I'm going to dictionary because I need to get the max health because that's the multiple, the divide that I want to divide the 46 in. So I'm going to go divide, get, and I'm going to go open that. I'm going to type in the instant variable, which is called the max health, as I showed you. And then I'm going to multiply that. I'm going to times that by the dictionary. This is how we retrieve the data from the database. Dictionary.get the health bar. Okay. And we're going to do this, and we're going to go health. And that's really it. Go ahead and save that. And if I go ahead and play that now, let's take stage 1. You'll see that make sure that your bar is set to max because now we're setting the bar based on the health. Now we know that he's got 18 hits. He can take 18 hits. So let's go and test that theory. We should see a subtract from the right hand side. There we go. There's the first one. There's the second one. There's the third one. And you get what I'm saying. The fourth, fifth, sixth. You get it. He's just going to take damage over and over. Okay. Until the point that he is, in fact, dead. Okay, and there he's now dead. And there you can see I actually disabled the character. I can't actually... Oh, no, I did remove now. But it's not right. You can see sort of off screen because we haven't actually coded the death function for the player itself. We basically want to destroy the player, maybe cast a nice little death animation, which we can do as well. Right, so there it is in its full formation. It's now working. Now we're going to go ahead and create a positive with regards to that. So you guys remember over onto our main level again, we had not the main, let's go and have a look at our effects. We had this drop item story. Let me go and put this in here. I don't know why that's sticking out. We had the drop item. Now we need to basically create what we'd like to call the collectible, in other sense that we need to obviously pick up items. If the user drops the items, collect it, and then obviously do something with it. So the first thing we're going to want to do is maybe, let's call it, you see you've got drop items, so we can just keep it in here for now. That's not going to be the end of the world. So let's go and add a player base, because we know it's a player base, on collision event, on collision with another object. And now we need to go and choose the object, and we're going to use the drop items, okay, because we know that that's what it is, because they spawn differently, okay. And then we need to add let me just go to my drop items quickly. We might have to add an instance variable to know that it's true that we picked it up, but let's not worry about that now. We're going to need an add sub event, because remember, I'll explain to you now that we've got 2 items in here. So we're going to go is playing. Let's go to animation. Where is my animation? There we go. Animation is playing, and in this case we're going to say heart. Okay, heart. Right. Now, why am I doing this? Because drop item has more than one item. As you can remember the last video, I've got coin and I've got heart. Okay, it's playing the role of all the items. So go ahead and just rename that correctly. And I should have had that all as case sensitive, but anyway. So is playing heart, then we can basically adjust the health. Now, a good practice here would be to create you could say, a health component essentially for our player. Okay, instead of in everything, because we might want to use it elsewhere, where if he touches a fountain of youth or something, that it adds health to him, not just from the heart itself, or if we kill a special enemy, then you're going to end up coding yourself. So this is again where vital that we've got. Let's have a look and see if we have it. The functions that we create, we've got player hertz, but at the same time we create a player spawn or replenish or whatever that might look like, is also going to be an important thing later down the line. Okay, so just a note, you could say, to take as you go. And yeah, basically we can now set the dictionary in the sense that we can tell the player, okay, listen, you've now spawned a heart. Go ahead and obviously make yourself better, if that makes sense. So that's quite simple. So yeah, we're going to do is we need to adjust it. So we're going to go here. I'm going to go add dictionary. So we're going to go dictionary. And yeah, we need to do a thing, and we're going to go add key. And yeah, we need to do a few things. So the first we need to do is we need to set the health, the key, which is going to be our health. But we need to get the previous health. You see, we cannot just say, add 1 to this value. We need to know what is the previous one. So to do that, we go self dot, and we go get, obviously, which is the health, right? So let's do that. That's where we know health, because that is the dictionary. Get the health first, then go and plus the 1. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Yeah, we want to use an instant variable later down the line. Like I said, let's rather pass it as a function so we can use it globally, opposed to having to write this code again. This should be passing, for instance, if heart is saying +2, then pass the heart instance variable, through our local functions variable as a parameter, as we've done with most of our functions. So I'm just going to do this for short now because hearts are the only thing that can heal us. So later down the line, we can adjust that as we see other areas that need to give us more health. Okay, so let's go ahead and play that. We're going to go ahead to our stage. Let's go to dungeon, because we know that the hearts are here. And let's go into our little player. Let's get hurt. Okay, I need to fix that animation. Okay, so there we got hurt once, as you saw. I'm going to run down here. I'm going to get hurt again. And he's coming back trying to attack me. And I'm going to go downstairs. So now I know I've got hurt twice. So I'm hoping to get a heart here. Okay, there's nothing because of the fact that, as in our previous video, this can be random. So I'm going to go back in and out until I get a heart. So let's go back in. Nothing here again. And this has got to be it. Come on. No, nothing. The luck of the draw, gents and ladies. Nothing. This is ridiculous now. And this is going to be it. Nothing. Right, and there's our heart that popped out. Now this should add to the health bar. The heart's going to stay, but we need to get this to go up. And there we go. Touch the heart, and she replenished and gave me 1. Okay, which is fantastic. So if I go a little bit further away and I touch it again, it's now made me full. That is why it's important to destroy that effect. Okay, so that's simple. As you can imagine, we go over to our effects, and we just say, drop item, destroy the heart once on touch. So on collision, do that. Now I want to do something a little bit more creative with regards to that. That is a great look, don't get me wrong, with regards to the heart, when you just use item, drop item, yeah, we go destroy, but it then destroys it. It then destroys it immediately, which can, you could say, can look a little, no, I wouldn't say look weak, but it can look cheap, you know what I mean? So we want to basically give something a little bit more, that if we collect it, that it does a little something better. All right, and yeah, we're going to use our movement. We're going to, because we know that the coins have got this sin movement and so forth. Let's go and use it as well with regards to collecting. So I'm going to go ahead and say, because I want to bring this to the player itself. So I'm going to go ahead and just first copy this. Okay. Let's go and put this over here. Okay, and this one as well. And then I'm going to edit this function. And where we've got the random, basically, I want to angle, I'm going to use the angle. Instead of random, I'm going to use the angle. So let's go ahead and just delete what's inside here. This we're going to keep the same. And I want to player base it to the angle. So let's take this out, like that. And we're going to go angle, and open up a new brackets. All right, and yeah, we're going to go self dot x, and then self, and we're going to give it a nice little effect, self dot y, and then we want to go towards player dot, let's just use player base so we know it's right in the center. Okay, player base dot x, and then player base dot y. Fantastic. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy this and use that for the sin as well. So I click done, open this, and then just change it to sin. And you guys are going to see what I'm saying. Sin, fantastic. So it means it's going to come right up against me, if that makes sense. And then what we can do here is we can wait a second or two. Let's just see what it does. This should bring the coin, the heart towards me, give it a slight better. Then we can wait a second maybe and destroy it. So let's go see what that does. Let's go back. Okay, so there's the heart. Now watch when I get close to it. You notice that it's slowly moving towards me. And then as it gets towards me, I want to destroy it. So almost like I want to suck it in, if you want to call it that. So maybe what we could do is we could change the width. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's go do another thing here. Let's go and take the drop item. And then we can go set size to size. Size. I think this will give it a great little effect. Set size. So let's set size. And yeah, we're going to go self width, right? Self width. And let's say subtract 100 and multiply that by delta. Okay, and then we're going to do the same for height. Alright, let me go height. Oopsie. Let's do height. There we go. Come on. Height. There we go. And let's have a look and see what that looks like. Okay, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and add a blank sub event because I want this to play first. Let's go add sub events, blank sub event, there we go. And then let's destroy it. Let's just do that so we get the full effect. So we go destroy, drop item. Let's do that quickly. Drop items, and then destroy. And then let's wait as well before we destroy it actually. Wait. Let's wait 0.1 because it'll take about that to destroy it. So let's go do that and pull that up. Okay, so this should move towards the player, size it slightly down, obviously because the player's a lot bigger, and then destroy it. Let's go and see what that looks like. It's only going to happen on the heart, could happen on the coin as well. So there's the heart towards me, and it's sort of sucked in. That looks awesome. That actually looks amazing. So let's test that again. He comes in. The coin should do the same, but I didn't set the animation on that, so the coin's just destroyed. But let's try the heart. We need to do the same for the coin. Let's go back in. And come on, it's going to give me a heart now. Right, there's my coin. When you want a heart, it doesn't give it to you. There's the heart, watch carefully, and it sucks it in. Awesome, guys. So you notice that it also pluses it towards the bar. Now, what I did notice was that you'll see that we need to create a function because you'll see that the width of the bar slightly came over the 46. Because of the fact that I'm already at 18, it mustn't come over. So we can do an if statement on the health. Essentially, that we can check here as well that if get the health is greater than 18, don't add. So what we do here is just add a sub event. Let's do that. Add another action. Add sub event, and here we can basically go because we can still suck it in if that makes sense. Suck it in regardless. Pick it up, but just don't let the bar go higher. And then obviously, guys, if you want the hearts to stay, in case he is at max length, then you just move this straight out, if that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go dictionary, but let's just do it the right way. Let's go dictionary and compare a value. And yeah, we need to compare a value, which is going to be health is equal or greater. It needs to be less or equal. No, just less. Less than. And yeah, we can get another value. We can go get, let's just use a dictionary dot get, and yeah, we're going to get max health because we don't want to set it at 18 in case I change it, then that becomes a static. So always keep it, what do you call it? Global, things global. So if health is less than the max health, go ahead and do all this stuff, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take all this great that I can leave. This I can actually leave because, like I said, we're going to suck it in regardless. But we want to make sure that we don't go over the menu bar. So if I go back to the dungeon, and I hope to get a health. I don't want this red bar to go over. So if I get a health here, so that's a coin. I'm going to go back in. Let's try that again. Okay, so there's the heart. Now if I touch it, it's going to be sucked in, but you'll notice that now the bar didn't go up. So that's what I wanted. So that's perfect. Now we can leave the heart, as I said, we can move everything. If we go back to, for those of you that want to keep the heart floating, very simple. All you need to do is then move all of this into that, and then ensure that the destroy as well is moved into that. That way you can leave the heart sitting. But this function now, we can use, when we've got animation playing, we're going to do the same for animation playing for the heart. So what we do here, just to show you, to do the coins, we can go ahead and copy this and then paste it straight down. All right. This we're not going to need. We probably will need it because we'll probably keep coins in a value as well. And yeah, we just double click and we click on coin. Hopefully it is the coin animation. And then we can do exactly the same with regards to the coin and adding the coin to different dictionaries. So yeah, we don't compare, but we don't have a current coin dictionary, but let's go and add it. We might as well because we're going to use it. So let's go and add another one. Let's go ahead and copy this and we can call this coins. Just to give you guys an idea, call it coins, and we'll add it there. So coins is currently set to 0, and then we can go over to our effects again, and once it's playing, and this function we now no longer need because it's not a matter of health. We only have unlimited coins. So I'm going to put that back there, delete that, and then change that to coins, coin. I think we call it coins, and then we're going to take the current coins and we're going to +1 to it. And there we've got the function as well as that moving into the body because we've got it there as well. So great. So now there are our coins, and then we go ahead and we destroy the coins after we picked it. So now we know that the coins is ready to go. We will show you guys, we need to create another little HUD to show how many coins we are, but we're going to do that in our next video. We'll show fonts and like maybe the pause screens, etc., and some menu screens. But this today was really about the heart, about the health. This will apply to your abilities, mana, if you're going to be a wizard. We're going to be making use of those things later, but I'm not going to show tutorials on how to add those because the same with the health, that applies to mana and everything. There's no difference in any of these bars. So this is going to be our tutorial with regards to health bars, mana bars, etc. Alright guys, as always, I really hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe. We appreciate the love and a little thumbs up there. We've got some cool stuff coming up, especially in our Unity tutorial. There you can see it's sucked in the little coin, which is awesome. And we're looking forward to it. So make sure you hit those thumbs, guys. We do appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.